What's up, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the entry point.
Welcome to the point, baby.
This is week 15.
15 of them.
Got Fosterdamus with me. I'm your host, Mr. Keenan. We are recording live at Barnos for the third week in a row.
The fourth week in a row.
Fourth week in a
Barnos
row.
4 times in a row.
If you like it, come hang out up here. We got $2 pints, $9 buckets. Those are the specials for the night.
Come get a drink,
Come
enjoy
have a
the
drink.
show, watch us perform, you know what I'm saying?
Got a little crowd up in here
Little
tonight.
crowd, getting a little
Our
rowdy.
boy John Ellen Brand's playing here in the
Johnny L, check him out, 8
Shortcoming.
p.m. Here we go.
Now, let's get into it. It's playoff time.
Playoff time, time to get your game face on. If you're not ready, if your lineup ain't set, you better get your game face on. Let's go.
Let's go. Now, last week, Fosterdamus gave you the defensive poop of the week as always.
Ooh, always.
Andy did them right, got about 16 and a half.
Homer time.
They wasn't no Seattle defense.
God.
They were on my
bless
team.
America.
They were on my team. And yes, I did advance. I'm moving on. And also, let's see, who gave us that? Brent gave us that Facebook question as far as Cam Newton and Stafford.
Cam Newton
You
and
said
Stafford.
Fosterdamus gave him said no Stafford.
No
said
Stafford.
play Cam Newton.
Scam.
Cam Newton doubled the points. He put up 40. Stafford barely put up 22. And,
Hey, you know
and
what?
hopefully Brent followed suit with what
Follow
Fosterdamus
suit,
said.
taking
and
W's.
Probably took a W.
What it's all about, taking W's.
Also, Whitlow had another question, and if you listen to Fosterdamus, he was good because Martin, he was like Doug Martin, Bryce Brown, kind of a good. Bryce Brown's been killing. Bryce Brown only put up 2 points.
Dose.
Doug Martin put up like 20.
And Philly won the game.
You know, Fosterdamus. My question of the week last week was Peyton Manning or Andrew Luck. He
Andrew
went with
Luck.
Luck. Peyton Manning didn't do well either, but really neither one of them did good.
Thursday games are a thing to stay away from, guys. If you remember, I've talked about it all year long. Thursday games, if you have a choice of a great player and a great player, I just keep them out of Thursday. Crazy things happen on Thursday nights. It gets nuts.
We got a good game this Thursday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Who is it? It's Cincy at Philly.
Cincy at Philly, playoff implications, long ball in the house. We know it's crazy.
I got AJ Green going up against me.
AJ Green against you?
Yeah, he's.
Ooh.
What do you think? Is he gonna?
Well, check it out. AJ touchdownless 2 straight weeks when he had 8 straight in the prior. It'd be something to be worried about seeing AJ get off. But again, like I said, it's Thursday, so unpredictable things usually happen on Thursday Night Football, baby.
You never know. And so a question into this week is Vincent Jackson or AJ Green. Vincent Jackson going up at New Orleans,
Right?
which is not they're pretty stingy. Or no, actually, no. New Orleans is
They
horrible.
give it up
They're
real
horrible
nice.
with it. They're horrible with
Right.
the passing. And Philly is mediocre with the passing.
Philly's mediocre, awesome
Who would you
Rogers
start if you
Cabardi.
had both of those guys?
If I have both those guys, I have to make a decision on one because I've got a Calvin at the other wideout. Well, I'm looking at a flex play. If it's me, I'm going with AJ.
Ooh, I hope not. I hope Fosterdamus is wrong there because I'm scared of that guy tomorrow night. We do record on Wednesdays, so
Tomorrow
I'm
is
scared tomorrow
Thursday.
night, yeah. So, and we had a Facebook question. Let's go ahead and get into that.
Okay,
for
get into
week.
this. Whitlow.
And
Whitlow throwing it up.
again. I
Thanks, Big
appreciate
Whitlow. At Barnos.
He's
Big Mike.
curious. He's curious of whether or not he should start Andrew Luck this week against at Houston.
Well, at Houston, where we can maybe clarify that. At Houston, Luck this week. Wow, it's a hard play, I think. But if you have faith, because Houston's still giving up the pass, 357 a game they're giving up.
That's a bonus.
Play Luck, and that's the bonus if you play in a bonus league. And Luck will have to throw the ball, and he's going to play from behind. He's going to be passing it around a little bit. But coming off that slaughterhouse from Tom Brady, I'd be hard-pressed to want to play Andrew Luck this week.
It's going to be tough.
Even though I'm a big fan, that's my guy. It's going to be tough.
Houston is trying to. They got to have a comeback game after that.
Exactly. They have to show up, and Luck might be the bullseye on his head.
So let's go ahead and stick with that game. So obviously you're saying maybe no luck. Probably no
luck this week.
No luck
man.
this week.
Run out of luck.
But I would like to stick with that game because you think that you got Houston defense versus Indy, or you got Denver defense at the Ravens. Both teams, the Ravens and Houston, coming off some losses. Who out of those two defenses, which one would you play, Fosterdamus?
Well, for me, let me break it down. It's going to be real simple here. Denver is playing for their livelihood, as is Baltimore. Denver's not playing for their livelihood. Baltimore's playing for their livelihood. Legitimately, they haven't clinched yet. It hasn't been there. And here's the thing. Flacco is wacko, baby. He's wacko. Yeah, he threw 3 TDs last week. Blind squirrel finds a nut. The thing is, Denver's defense, they want to get that number 2 seed in the AFC. Peyton Manning and friends. Want the 2 seed, they get a bye. You just sit home and pay attention and wait. See who you get to play. See who I'm going to play. You want that guy? You take Denver's defense this week. Easy over Houston.
All right, let's move on to another defensive question. Because this is personal for me. Since we're on defenses, because I'm in a pickle here. I'm not sure. Do I play Seattle's defense at Buffalo?
Okay.
Who, obviously, Seattle. If you had him last week, you're the happiest.
Or if you played against him last week, you're upset.
Or
as am I.
Right. Or the Jets defense at Tennessee. Okay. I've got those two defenses, and that Jets-Tennessee game is on Monday night.
Right.
And I don't know. The Jets defense, it's almost like, is Seattle going to have a letdown and the Jets stay? Jets have been consistent. I don't know who to play, and I need a win. My projections are not adding up right, and I need to know who to play. Seattle's defense at Bills or Jets D at Tennessee.
Let me tell you this. I'll make it real easy for you, Mr. Cannon. The Bills played the Rams last week. The Rams defense held Buffalo to field goals. What do you think Seattle's defense is going to do, my friend? Seattle's the start. Make it easy. They're taking a trip all the way from the West Coast to East Coast. It don't matter. Buffalo hopes their flight's canceled.
All right, let's move on to some players now. We've talked about some defenses for this coming week, and now we're going to move into some players. We got a tight ends comparison, because we're not really doing poops and constipators just like last week. This is the playoffs. We're going to compare some players is what we're going to do, and we're going to see which one is up here and which one's down there. And Jimmy Graham has been kind of a letdown for most owners.
He hasn't even been himself the past 6 weeks, guys. Jimmy's not been himself.
So Jimmy Graham there versus Tampa Bay or Heath Miller at Dallas. And Heath Miller has been pretty consistent.
Miller's been consistent to a point, but think about this. Roethlisberger banged up last week, yet he's still finding Wallace. Wallace If you're a banged up QB having trouble with your release, if all your power's not there, and yet Miller's still seeing the looks. Here's what I'm thinking.
You're going to keep a short pass going.
Keep a short pass going.
Quick
still
passes.
wasn't finding. So if it's me, I look for Jimmy Graham to get back this week, put up more points than Miller, because Breeze got to get it right this week.
All right, so I seen a lot of Shane Vereen last week. Is Green Ellis going to get some carries again versus San Francisco?
Well, check this out. Green Ellis plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. So, we're talking about Stephen Ridley and Shane Vereen.
Right.
We're going to go back to Green Ellis real quick because that's who we're talking about.
Right, Green Ellis. Green Ellis.
And Mr. Keenan, we put this together. Green Ellis was Darren Sproles this week, guys.
Right.
If you look at the numbers projected, if you're looking at prior activity, you're looking to see that this is going to be very close. It's got to be it's a toss-up.
San Francisco gives up the least amount of fantasy points to running backs, the absolute least. And Tampa Bay really doesn't do bad as well. And that Tampa Bay is going to be going with
Tampa Bay is the top 5 run D, but Sproles is the third down guy. And I think there's a spark lit under the Bengals after this emotional loss they took to Dallas and gave it away. I'm going with Green Ellis this week
against the grain. That's why
you
watch the show. Is because you need to know when you should go against the grain. And Fosterdamus,
law firm, baby.
He ain't scared. He ain't scared to go against the grain.
If you're scared, go to church.
That's right. Let's move on to some quarterbacks.
Okay.
You got to keep up, guys. I'm going to be moving real quick here. We got Russell Wilson at the Bills.
Russell.
Or Matt Schaub versus Indy.
Or Schaub versus Indy.
Out of the two quarterbacks, you got them both projected pretty much the same. Both of them going against the same kind of defenses against the passers. So who would you take, Wilson or Schaub?
Wow, Wilson or Schaub. After the poor performance from Russell Wilson when they win 55 some odd to nothing, and the poor performance from Schaub when they get drummed up by New England 30 some odd to 14.
Which I said last week that New England tends to get into their they tend to.
And I did pick Houston, so let him rub that one in my face. But I'm going to keep smiling when he rubs it.
New England always is good at the end of the year.
Always. So here's the thing. With Schaub and Wilson, I look for Schaub to have a better bounce back than Wilson does. Points-wise, fantasy-wise, it's got to be Schaub. Because obviously something he wasn't doing is the reason why I lost that game. Collectively, they played good defense, but 8 plays out of that game beat them into the ground. You got to play a full 4 quarters, folks, and Houston's going to play it this week.
All right, so since you said Matt Schaub, I had Matt Schaub on my team, and I also have Colin Kaepernick on my team.
Okay.
And Kaepernick is going up against San Fran is playing Cincinnati.
San Fran is not playing Cincinnati. San Fran is playing New England.
New England, right.
New England.
Would you play Colin Kaepernick or Matt Schaub, who just won that battle? Would I play Kaepernick over him, who had the big, 63-yard run?
I don't see Kaepernick having much success this week against a New England team that's just primed to perform.
Defense has been showing up, right?
Primed to perform. Patriots, they let Houston know what time it was. I imagine they're going to let San Fran know what time it is, too.
All right, move on to a wideout. This is a good comparison here. Reggie Wayne, he hasn't got the end zone very much, but he's still a very solid fantasy option. Or down by the schoolyard, Julio.
Well,
Reggie Wayne or Julio?
Reggie Wayne or Julio. Matt Ryan, you had to come back in the second half and impress me last week, and you barely did so. You're lucky I picked you for my man Chris Hogan. You're lucky. I hope he didn't play Flacco because you put up more points. Hopefully he won. But what I have to say about this right here, because Wayne in the building is a top 5 receiver this year, and Wayne in the building has been balling out of control. Julio's been on again, off again, on again, off again. So who do you want to mess with? Easy this week. Houston's giving up 358 in passing per game.
Even at Houston.
It doesn't even matter where we're at. They're giving it up in the past. Jacksonville took them to overtime, and I love luck to find Reggie Wayne quite a bit this week.
Honestly, I like the Giants against Atlanta this week as well. I like the Giants to win that game at Atlanta because they're another team just as well as the Patriots. I told you, come on strong.
I told you three weeks ago, Atlanta's has about as much a chance to win the Super Bowl as I do.
He's had a lot of very good picks against Atlanta when nobody. He picked their first loss. They were like what 8-0, and you told him and you said they were going to stop 9-0 and picked their 10th game as the loss.
No, you clap.
All right, Steven Jackson versus Soda or Matt Forte versus Green Bay. Both of them at home.
Well, you know what? I feel like Lovie Smith feels like his job's in jeopardy. What you gonna do? Let's take it out of Cutler's hands and put it in Forte's hands, baby. Matt Forte is the player for slacking this week.
Good call. I feel that, and it's really a very even matchup. Both of them going against some mid-range defenses against the run.
Right, exactly.
And both of them projected pretty close to the same thing. I like it. And Forte, what is this, his 3rd game back now?
It's his 4th. 4th play.
All right, I hear you. Now let's move on to a wideout question again. Randall Cobb came on strong for fantasy owners. I'm sure you probably drafted him late, probably thinking about a keeper if you had him, if you have a keeper league. Randall Cobb coming on strong. They're at Chicago. Or another guy that's come on strong that you probably didn't even draft, Denario Alexander. Versus, that's a pretty good matchup between those two wideouts. Who would you play?
Who am I playing there? Denario Alexander, I believe you've busted your proverbial nut. Philip Rivers, you still suck. Yes, you can only find Darren Alexander, but I'm still better than you. I'm going with Randall Cobb this week. Rodgers didn't throw a TD last week, and that hadn't happened in 36 games. Look for him to throw about 4 or 5 this week. Cobb will be a recipient of at least one of those.
And Jordy's out.
Jordy's out.
Probably out. He didn't practice today as of Wednesday.
Jordy. Wipe the sand out.
And your boy Jennings has been missing.
Jennings, get out of my face. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not even going to talk about you right now. I'll get upset.
So, really, that pretty much sums it up real quick.
That's it for the
like
players
I said,
this
we
week.
Was moving on quicker. We're trying to do this quicker.
Riding through them. Whipping game.
Leading you through the playoffs.
Playoff time to get paid.
Fosterdamus has plenty of time to do research.
Here we go.
Since he got knocked out in the U-College League last week. Last week as well, you did 10-6.
10-6, baby. My pick'em's still heavy, still dominating.
Still doing good. We're gonna move on and see what you like this week.
Okay, here we go.
Money.
Let's go. Let's get paid.
Actually, entertainment purposes only. This is we don't.
And if you have a problem, call that number.
Right. There's a 1-800 number if you have a gambling problem.
I don't.
But they don't call it a problem if you win.
Right. No problem if you get W.
So listen to Fosterdamus and it won't be a problem. Cincy at Philly Thursday.
Cincy at Philly, just for this specific reason only. Cincy's fans are a lot of big, fat, beautiful, pretty-faced women. I'm going with the Bengals, baby.
I hear you.
Yes!
New England at Atlanta.
New England at Atlanta.
It
ain't New England, it's New Orleans.
No,
New York Giants.
I'm sorry.
G-Men at Atlanta. Guess what? Matt Ryan. Here comes the G-Men. Giants.
Road wins.
Road wins, baby.
Green Bay at Chicago. Another road win.
Green Bay at Chicago. Oh, at Chicago, easy. Jay Cutler's still the quarterback of the Bears. Sit down, Butler.
Washington at Cleveland.
Washington at Cleveland. If RG3 plays, I take Washington. If not, I'm going with the Cleveland Thugsters.
We're
going to slash that one.
Middle of that one.
We don't know yet. It's only Wednesday, guys.
Adrian Peterson at St. Louis.
AP at St. Louis. Look for another
all day.
Look for another 200-yard performance. AP all day.
That'll give him 1,800. He should break Dickerson's record this year.
He might. AP. Mr.
He's got
MCL.
1,600 right now.
He's a bad man.
2 games left.
Bad man.
Thank you, AP. Got you in the second round. Everybody in my league's pretty.
No, I wanted him. No, wrong.
You should have never slipped that late. I knew they was gonna let you slip though, so I took you in a second. Jacksonville at Miami.
Jacksonville at Miami. You're not playing for anything, Miami. Continue to not play for anything. Jaguars. Battle of Florida.
Fosterdamus is on the road this week. Tampa Bay at New Orleans.
Tampa at New Orleans. Doug has an awesome game. Ooh-wee. New Orleans.
New Orleans. Denver, Baltimore.
Heavy highlight. Write it down. Denver's defense disrupts. He separates Joe Flacco's unibrow. It's going to be ugly. Von Miller, Elvis Dumerville and friends mugging him in the face, being ugly and nasty. Ugh, Peyton Manning.
Indy at Houston.
It's
a great game these days.
Great game these days. Yes, I'm a homer. Yes, I love my Colts. I'm a realist. Houston this week.
Seattle at Buffalo.
Heavy highlight. Seahawks. Don't matter how hard they have to travel, you're still playing against Ryan Fitzpatrick.
They might still have the 12th man there.
They might bring him along.
They might bring him all the way from coast to coast.
Coast to coast.
Because the 12th man
is the man.
And Seattle might have more fans there this
year. Oh, yeah.
Detroit at Arizona.
Easy. Calvin's peaking. Going to break Jerry Rice's record this week alone at Arizona. Easy.
Carolina, well, I mean, is Arizona going to score any points this week?
Exactly.
That's the question.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I doubt it. Carolina at San Diego.
Ooh, Cam the man, Philip Rivers, I hate you.
Been on fire.
I hate you. Cam's on fire. Philip, I hate you. Hate your mom, I hate your brother and your sister.
Pittsburgh at Dallas.
Dallas Cowboys, stay rally. Pittsburgh, you're not going to make the playoffs. Remember that, Big Ben, when you had that girl in the bathroom.
Kansas City at Oakland.
Heavy highlight. Oakland Raiders get off the snide.
Is it going to mean anything, though?
No, it means nothing, but it's Run DMC value, so let's go.
He might not even play. He got hurt again at the end of the game.
DMC is going to play this week, baby. Let's go.
San Francisco, New England.
San Fran, New England. Sunday night football, Tuesday night football, tonight football. Doesn't matter. New England, heavy highlight, easy money. Tom Brady's in Super Bowl preparation for him.
Dun, 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 dun. Monday night. Might be the most boring game ever on Monday night.
Boring Monday night football game ever.
Tebow comes back in.
Unless Tebow plays this week, which I'd love to see it.
Jets at Tennessee.
Jets at Tennessee. I'm going with CJ Noke and the Tennessee Titans.
Thank you, Bearnos. Thank you, every viewer.
Thanks, Bearnos, viewers, all the beautiful people out there, and all the smiling faces.
We will be back next week.
If
you think you can do better,
bring it.
YouTube it.
We right here.
Is that it? You got one more?